Alright, my parents woke up. I had to act like I was not busy making a video or something. I didn't want to get in shit, so I'm gonna start whispering. After this whammy has done her interview or what the fuck ever, I'm gonna turn everything off because I don't want to get my ass whooped as a 20-year-old man. How goes it, guys? There we are, back watching another Japanese video about people and their teaching experience, because most people go over as English teachers because that seems like a fun thing to do. So they're talking about their experiences as an English teacher in Japan, pros and cons that come with it. Newsflash: most of the pros are just, oh, you get to go to Japan. I'm not even joking. That's literally what most of them say. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this. If you did enjoy it, then what do like, subscribe, share, notify yourself, and open my brilliant content by clicking the notification bell. Hopefully you guys just enjoy, because that is the most important part. Spring into the virus, of course. And hopefully I'll just see you guys in the next one. Cheers. Surprise, surprise! Not a Japan video. I don't know. I'm very tired now. I'm also sick. Like, not uploading the last few days and stuff like that. But we're back. I'm gonna try and push through it. I don't care how I feel. I want to make videos because it's fun. So we're gonna do this, another reaction video. Now, if people go to Japan, I don't know why it's a Japan video again. Forgive my sins, alright. But when people normally go to Japan, they start as an English teacher. Makes sense if you want someone to teach high levels of English. Take English speaking foreigners, whose primary language, I don't know, home language is basically English. And it makes sense, if there was an Afrikaans post open, I would become, no, I wouldn't become an Afrikaans teacher. I can't stand fucking language, bro. I just can't stand it. But yeah, basically that's what most of them do. So this is the perspective of actual English teachers in Japan and how they feel about the situation and stuff. So let's see how they experience it.
Where from?
I'm from Michigan in the US. I've been in Japan for just
USA,
about
nice,
9
nice.
years.
And you teach
None.
English, right?
I used to teach English. Currently, I'm still a teacher, but I teach at an international school teaching music.
How did you find English teaching job in
That's
Japan
pretty cool.
first 9 years ago?
I actually was teaching English in China at the time. I taught there for 3 years also. And I heard about
China
the
and
school
in
I
Japan.
first taught at
Okay.
here in Japan through my sister. She was also teaching at that school. I was able to visit her and see what her school was like, and decided I wanted to move to Japan. Yeah, it was through my sister that I found out about my school.
Okay. I've
All
heard
right.
many stories
So
from
the
my
entire
friends, like
family almost moved.
finding English teaching job through mutual friends or friends who already work in the company. And is it true? Is it common in Japan for foreigners? Like, yeah.
Kind of true. Or at least there's a few main websites that people use to find English teaching jobs,
He
except
does
people
this thing
from
that I also do when people talk, and I just continually nod. Like, it's almost when you are listening, but you don't fully sometimes understand what people are saying. Yeah, nah, no, no, I get it. I get it. He also does
anywhere in the
that. I don't
world,
know why.
and you don't need a connection necessarily, but a lot of people do find jobs
Is that
through
his mic in the
friends or
background?
relatives. That is a pretty
I
common thing from what
wonder.
I hear. The
I
one
don't
that I
know.
always use, which was called
I just took a shower,
gaijinpot.com,
that's
that
why I look
one
wet.
seemed to have pretty
I
good
don't know.
options, and I think most of the
That
companies
sounds weird,
are
but yeah.
legitimate. I found jobs through gaijinpot. My second job in Tokyo, no, sorry, my first job in Tokyo, second job in Japan was found through gaijinpot. Yeah, the job was fine. It was a legitimate company and
I don't know. I was a menace in school. The teachers liked me just because I was funny sometimes. But you want to have children put me through what I put my teachers through. I don't know. I can't ever teach. It's not something that I think I can do. I'd rather be a barman or in something like that than teach. But in South Africa, there's not an actual job direction to go in. You you can't be a barman in South Africa and afford your own living. It's mostly like in US or overseas countries where actual bar people have enough money to survive, which is weird because you don't do that in South Africa. You don't get that much money, dude.
everything. So a lot of the time people do have those kinds of, worries, but with the more like established websites, the well-known ones, you should be pretty much fine.
What do you think is the pros or cons
All
of
right.
teaching English in Japan? Specifically, just
Pros,
because it's Japan. Yeah.
Japan.
You have any?
Once you're a
Big
teacher
pro
and
would
you
be that you
fucking
get
get
to
shat
enter
on.
Japan. You know, you're supplied with a
Yeah,
visa and you can come to
basically,
Japan.
like I
That's a
said,
big draw for a lot of people. You know, you're in the country, you can explore, you can learn the language, you can do so many things. Con of teaching English in Japan is that English
it's
teachers tend to
spendable.
have a bad reputation.
I've
Uh,
heard of it.
Yes,
what?
because so many English teachers use that as just a way to get in Japan and then have fun.
Easiest way to come to Japan? Is it true?
I
Makes
think it's the
sense.
easiest way, yeah.
Okay.
A lot of teachers will come to Japan, they don't take their job seriously, they don't value the students that they're teaching, they don't value their school, they just do the bare necessities, the bare minimum to, you know, fulfill their requirements at work. And then they just like go wild on the weekends. And like what you want to do in your free time is that's yours, your thing.
Yeah, don't
But
neglect the students
they
though.
tend to be the kind
People
of
pay for
foreigner
that shit.
that is loud, that is like disruptive in public. They tend to do all these things that kind of get looked down on by
Hmm.
Japanese people, and that
Makes
reflects
sense.
on the
Makes
rest of us,
sense.
like all foreigners, not even just English teachers, but all foreigners in general.
I can tell you already, it was Americans that did this. I don't know. Americans are the loudest people I've ever fucking met in my life. Holy shit. Like, me and my friends, we can get rowdy when we like Americans. You're without even being drunk. You're so loud. I don't know.
Because I think a lot of Japanese people assume that if you're a foreigner in Japan, you're an English teacher. Another might be
They go like, "Oh, you came to Japan, must be an English teacher." That's dude. If I ever go to Japan, and people ask, "Oh, English teacher," I'm just gonna die inside. I don't know what to say.
that it is a bit more difficult, I think, to learn Japanese because at
Yeah, people always. I've seen a lot of people. Oh no, learning a second language is easy. Well, it's gonna technically be my third language that I have to learn because, of course, I've got Afrikaans and then English. I have to learn Japanese. Now, for an autistic, dyslexic little fuck up like myself, it's very hard to learn new languages. I've like started learning new languages here and there, but I don't know why. When I learn that language, I get confused in my home language when I talk to people. I don't know if I'm the only one that experiences that, but I get confused talking to like in my home language to people, and then I'm just like when I'm switching in between them, it's such a weird thing. With English, it's fine because I've been doing it for years now, so I can quick and easy switch in between the two and still carry a sentence with meaning, but for most of the it's a struggle. It's definitely
your work,
with
a
different
lot of schools
languages.
are like this. Not all schools are the same, but my school, you could not speak Japanese with the students.
Because
The
you
students,
teach English.
right? You're teaching them English. Yeah, it makes sense
Yeah.
because you're not able to
Yeah, they make the home language. If you have to explain something to them that they don't understand in English, it's better to explain it in Japanese, their understanding. That's it's the same with I had an English teacher. So now she's also, of course, can talk Afrikaans and is probably Afrikaans. I don't remember. Ma'am Spyro, that was her name. But if we didn't understand the thing in English, which happens seldomly, it's more when we, did some dumb shit and she wanted to cuck us out. She would switch over to Afrikaans and just talk to us like that. Most of the time, of course, speaking English in the class, understandable. I have had English since I was in grade one. I should be able to understand it in matric. Although there's some people that still don't. I'm not even joking. That's the fucking weird part. But yeah, I can conversate in English, but some people can barely write it and can barely talk it. It's such a fucking weird thing in South Africa.
speak
The
Japanese,
Buddha, man. We are
and you have to tell the students, you know,
people that
stop
don't
speaking
like English
Japanese
for
in the
some reason.
classroom, it becomes like an English environment, which is good for the kids, but then
Bad
you
for
aren't
teaching.
provided with opportunities to learn, and that's
You learn when you go to the clubs or the bar. I've realized for languages, if you go out to the clubs or the bar,
fine.
it's
Like
when you
you can
learn the
take
most
the time
language,
outside of your work to
It's,
learn Japanese,
yeah,
but
you
when you're
take it
at
outside
work
of work, see.
almost 24/7, which is a lot of schools, unfortunately, they really work you hard. It feels like your whole life is just English, 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 and so you don't get the chances even.
Maybe I should become an English teacher because as a student, I hated tests. I did well in them, but I hated them. I want to be a teacher so I can fucking laugh at children and have to write tests.
happen outside of work
Now you
to
see,
like
it's
enroll in a
it's something
class,
that I
you know,
think
make
I want to
Japanese
do.
friends who
It's
can
just
practice
laugh
the
at
language with
people and
you.
have
I
to
would
write
come home from
tests.
work and just be
Shit, I
so
still have to
exhausted
write
I wouldn't
tests at
want
the
to
end of
do
the year.
anything.
But
I wouldn't want to enroll in a class. I
technically not
wouldn't want
school
to
though.
go out and explore because I was just so exhausted. And so my Japanese level was pretty basic for a lot of my time in Japan those first few years. And so I would say that's another con that people don't really think
Go
about.
out of your way
You
to
get
learn it.
excited to come
The thing is, you know what I would do? I'm not an avid runner. I hate fucking cardio. I hate it. But I used to be an athletic child. You know, I used to run around a lot until I started hitting some gym weights here and there, and started seeing the true like miraculous empowerment that lifting a fucking round to like weight off the ground can give you. So I stopped running and doing cardio, but I would actually run the country like Japan if especially in some places, even in Tokyo, dude. I would run there,
to Japan and you think, oh, I'm going to
see
learn
the
the language
place
so
like
quickly
from
and be
ground
fluent
level, if
and,
you know what I
you
mean.
know, interact with Japanese people, make friends, be able to watch anime with no subtitles. But it doesn't happen
I
because
will
it's
never not
just
watch
really
anime with
difficult to learn language.
subtitles.
Even I have
There
lots of
is no
friends
way
who goes
I
to
have to read it. I
language
don't care if I
school
speak the language.
studying Japanese, but they don't speak Japanese yet.
Hmm.
So if you're English teacher in Japan and then you don't speak Japanese, like during the weekdays, 9 to 5, like
Yeah, exactly.
it's definitely more difficult. Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, I kind of wish I had been able to come to Japan
As a student.
as a student. Yeah, that's what so many foreigners do. They come as a language student and they learn like a decent amount of the language before they move on to work in Japan, or maybe they
I
do both.
I don't know you could
They're
do that.
students and work part time or something like
It's
that.
probably because
But a
I'm in
lot of
South
people don't
Africa.
have
My
that
school doesn't want to
opportunity.
leave
They just
me to
come
leave.
straight
I
to
don't
teach
know.
English. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years
Used
down
to
the
leave.
line, you're still struggling to like hold basic conversations with people.
Can we talk about salary,
Hmm.
if you don't mind? It's okay.
Mhm.
Like, is it good money? Just in general, teaching
Oh,
English
salary.
in Japan,
Sorry.
is it good
What?
money or?
I
No.
think as a first year teacher, the money is not great.
I'm just gonna tell you. I've done some research on jobs in Japan, and it's not fucking great. There's some jobs I can do on internet and in person in South Africa, like equivalent, earn more money. So if I can get a job in the internet, go over there and work, and then supply my lifestyle for like a year and shit, I would do that. But that's what I'm working on right now because it's either America or Japan next year or Luxembourg. I don't know why, but yeah. So I'm gonna like try and figure something out to make money so I can move over to a different country next year because I want to leave this fucking place, dude.
I think
Just
it again.
South Africa. I don't
It
know,
really depends on
Right.
where you're at,
but
what
no,
qualifications you have
Japan's
going into a
salaries are
job. A lot
shit.
of schools
Like,
require a bachelor's degree. That's like the most basic, qualification. That's gonna get you a very basic salary as an English teacher in Japan.
Working in a Japanese public school, teaching
everyone
English
needs a bachelor's
5 days
degree
a
to
week.
teach
Like, how much
people.
do
It
you get?
makes sense.
210,000 or to 230,000 yen a month.
That's pretty much like average salary,
Yeah.
just in general in Japan.
Just in general,
Right.
okay.
Last question: do you speak Japanese?
Imagine your average salary is just 200 and something K because your like currency is that fucking horrible. That's no.
ちょっとできる。
How much is that in South Africa? Let's quickly go back. So that's between, so like 1500 USD in ZAR. This guy makes more money than actual fucking civil engineers in South Africa, junior civil engineers, and he's a fucking teacher. What the fuck? That's fucking crazy. No, man.
That's pretty much like average salary, just
That's
in
like
general in Japan.
27,000 rand
Last question: do you speak
each
Japanese?
month for teaching.
ちょっとできる。
Like, how did you learn? Like, can you answer in Japanese?
Beginner class. Sendai ni when I was in Sendai. Very, very big. I'm sorry. I don't know if I can do it in Japanese.
Okay.
He's struggling. He's struggling.
Thank you for
You got an Italian on the screen
Guy,
right
where
now.
from?
I can smell
Italy,
Italians.
Rome.
Yeah, I could fucking smell it. My friend's an Italian bastard, just like the rest of your people. I'm just joking, but
How long have you been in
he's an
Japan?
Italian,
Well, like
so
total 3 years, but I worked here for 2.5 years.
You teach English, right?
Yes, I'm an
two
English
and a half.
teacher. In Japan, I was working for an eikaiwa. So,
Can you
like,
What's
explain
that?
what eikaiwa is?
all right, it's like a school where Japanese people can learn English through conversation. So it's mainly conversation. So you have to be very open and friendly. In my eikaiwa, we only had adults. We didn't have children in my eikaiwa.
So Japanese adults who want to improve their English, they pay eikaiwa, and then that's kind of school, is it?
Yeah,
Makes sense,
I
I
had
guess.
both like private lessons, like one-on-one, always with adults, and group lessons, but like small groups, so that you can still have conversation. But like small groups, like 4, 5, 6 people max, and it's always like
I won't be able to do that because I'm pretty fucking stupid when it comes to English, if you haven't realized. So, if someone speaks worse English than I do, not like in their face, of course. It sounds bad. I'm a very laughable person. I don't know if that's the actual word, but it's basically like in serious situations or situations where I need to act serious, I tend to laugh. I don't know. It's like a reflex, I guess. Some sort of stoppage or I don't know fucking what. But yeah, I
extra. So
just
usually
stop
people
laughing.
who wanted to
I don't know
improve to
why.
go on a vacation or for their job. Exactly. As a non-native English
Makes
teacher,
sense.
because I'm Italian, it was a little hard for me to get a job, even though I have a BA and an MA.
Oh, because you're not native English speaker?
So she's
Exactly.
got a BA,
And like that
bachelor's,
was a
MA,
little bit like
masters.
disappointing because sometimes I feel like if you're a native, it doesn't mean that you're a good teacher. But I'm a good teacher even though I'm not a native, and it was very hard for me to get a work visa when I was in Italy. So I had to get a
That's too much energy, bro. I would have walked away already.
student
I,
visa first,
it's so
and then
much
I was able
energy.
to find a job. So that was a little bit tiring, but I did it. The money,
Look at
you
the
said, like,
background.
how's
Look
the
how good the
salary? I
background
couldn't
looks.
complain. I wasn't rich. If you're just doing that for an eikaiwa, you're not getting rich. Like, hey, but
Not everyone
you
gets
can
rich.
definitely get
It's
by and like
survive,
I
yeah.
could travel, etc.
Tell me the pros or cons of teaching English in Japan.
Okay, so pros. Definitely, you get to live in Japan, so it's
Yeah,
pretty cool.
that's
Also, if you teach an
all of them
eikaiwa,
is just like, what's the pros of being a teacher in Japan? Not learning the culture, learning new people. You get to go to Japan. But that's basically all they do. It's just like you get access to Japan. So that means it's very much
so
energy
you
for someone
teach
that's sick.
adults and
I'm
you
getting like
talk a lot.
actually
Like
tired
they
now.
have to talk with you for like 1 or 2 hours a week. You get to know the Japanese culture a lot because
Oh,
at an
there we
eikaiwa,
go.
as a teacher,
Culture
you
for
shouldn't be
once.
the one who speaks. The teacher.
Alright. My parents woke up. I had to act like I was not busy making a video or something. I didn't want to get in shit. So I'm gonna start whispering. After this whammy has done her interview or what the fuck ever, I'm gonna turn everything off because I don't want to get my ass whooped as a 20-year-old man. So, yeah, I'm probably gonna do that.
The
Let's look at
students
the
should
video.
speak. So they
I'm
tell
just
you
gonna
about their lives, their
talk like this
past,
from now
their
on,
like
you
the
know.
things they like. So you really get close to your students. Also, your students will give you like some random
Why
presents
do I
like
keep putting
fruit. At
faces like
first,
I'm
I was
autistic?
so like surprised when it was like my birthday and they were like, hey, here are 2 peaches, here 3 apples.
Maybe because it's you.
Happy birthday, have fruit, bitch. Fruit basket. Wow. Not even a basket, like 2 peaches and then 3 apples. Why?
Maybe. No,
I want to learn their
no,
culture.
they're nice. They're
Understand their
nice. They're
culture.
also adults.
Nice. So that means like you get access to talk to local people while you're getting paid.
So that's pros. Cons, well, as I said,
Makes
if you work
sense.
for a Japanese company, sometimes it can be a lot working hours. Also, like not having time off. I had 10 days a year, which is not normal in Italy. 10 and sometimes I wasn't able to take off all the 10 days. So I could only get like 8 and I'd go to work when I wasn't feeling good because I didn't want them to like deduct my days off.
What's it like learning Japanese
That's
while
weird.
you teaching English in Japan?
That's weird.
Difficult. When your friends know that you're an English teacher,
They
Japanese
want to
friends,
talk English properly,
sometimes,
right?
you know, when you're trying to learn and communication is hard, you switch to English. Like you start in Japanese, like, hey, what did you do today? What did you eat? And then when you want to go deep, it's like,
They woke up again. I'm contemplating if it's worth making a video further tonight or getting my ass beat. Uh, it might not look like it, but I'm actually scared right now. I actually need to make a decision now. The alarm went on again. Alright, I'm gonna
like,
risk it. There's one
yeah,
that's
let's switch to English because all of my friends can speak English. So I'd say it's a little bit difficult.
So-
In the Eikaiwa, you only speak English.
So you speak Japanese?
まあ、
That's my question.
やってみたいんですけど、わからなかったら英語で話しましょう。
大丈夫。英語話せない日本人の友達はいますか？
you don't speak English.
言います。
じゃあ、その人と話すときは全部に日本語。
全部日本語。
おお。
ゆうたさん、ありがとう。
ゆうたさん。
ゆうた先生、ありがとう。
誰？
私のシェアハウスに住んでる人。
あ、なるほどな。
うん。
あ、なるほど。
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for your time.
Alright, I'm gonna stop this video right there because, like I said, don't want to get my ass beat. Getting tired because I'm actually sick. And, I don't know, I'm just feeling very fucking autistic and sleepy right now. So what have we learned? If you go to Japan as a teacher, pro, you get into fucking Japan. Con, you have to learn a new fucking language. Most people want to speak the fucking language you already know, so you don't learn a new one. I don't know why I'm saying the F word so much. I'm trying to trim it down. I don't know if you guys have realized. Probably not, because I just do things that infuriate me for some reason. But you get into Japan for some reason to teach English. They speak in your language. They don't want to teach you Japanese because they want to learn English as well. You get decent pay. You can make a living there. Shitty work hours. Very hard, work economy in Japan. I don't know why I'm talking to you guys like you don't understand English. I'm so fucking done with this. Okay. In any case, if you guys end up enjoying, you know what, do like, subscribe, share, notify yourself with my brilliant content by clicking the notification bell. Hopefully, you guys just enjoy because that is the most important part. Spreading this one to the virus, of course. And hopefully, I'll just see you guys in the next one. Cheers.